Welcome back everyone to another lecture in our CMRP preparation course. In this video, we are going to learn about total productive maintenance. We learned in our last video about the birth of the total productive maintenance and how it is based on operator-based maintenance concept. So total productive maintenance is a strategy that focuses on the operation and the maintenance cooperation, and it aims to zero defects, zero accidents, and zero breakdowns. And this is why it is even called the zero strategy sometimes. And it aims to an effective workplace design to reduce any waste, which will reduce the overall operation and the maintenance cost. So the total productive maintenance is actually a team-based asset management strategy, and this is by involving all employees from all departments in the maintenance process. And applying TPM eliminates what we call self-induced failures, which are the failures due to issues in the operating condition and the operators themselves, and not because of an issue in the asset itself. So here you can see that we said that we aim to reduce the waste, enhance the workplace, ensure continuous improvement, reduce accidents, reduce costs. And all of this is the foundation of the lean maintenance. So what do we mean by lean maintenance? Actually, lean is a toolbox that is used in many different fields. You can add lean to maintenance to come up with lean maintenance. You can add lean to construction field to come up with lean construction. You can add it to quality control and you can come up with lean quality, or what is also called Six Sigma. So lean is a concept in its own. And just like we call a man lean, we mean that he is free of unwanted fat. The lean concept refers to a system that is free of wastes. So the main goal of lean is to reduce wastes and ensure continuous improvement, which will lead to maximizing the customer value. And in order to achieve this, lean follows 5 principles and it tries to eliminate 7 wastes. So what are those 5 principles and those 7 wastes? The 5 principles of lean are the following. First is identifying customers and specifying value. So we want to know what is the value that the customer is paying for. Identifying and mapping value stream, and this is by making sure that all of our activities are leading towards achieving this value. Creating a smooth flow and without interruption by eliminating wastes. Responding to customer pull. We are going to explain the difference between pull and push in few minutes. And finally, pursuing perfection. And this is by ensuring continuous improvement. So as you can see, those 5 principles could be applied to any field in order to enhance its performance. So we said that lean aims to responding to customers' pull. So what do you mean by pull, and what is the difference between pull and push approaches? Push and pull are 2 different approaches. So push is defined by production approximation, anticipated usage, wastes everywhere, poor communication, and management by firefighting, which is an expression that indicates that management is always reactive to the action and not proactive, while pull is defined by production precision, actual consumption, reduction of waste, improved communication, and management by site. So, if we want to summarize the difference between both concepts, push aims to make all what we can just in case, while pull aims to make what is needed when needed. And this is why pull fits with the concept of lean, which aims to eliminate wastes. So now we know the 5 principles of lean. So what about the 7 wastes that lean aims to eliminate? The 7 wastes of lean are the following. First, transportation, which is the wasted time going back and forth between the maintenance area to the store looking for spare parts or looking for information. Second, waiting, which is waiting for assets to shut down, waiting for spare parts to be delivered, waiting for information to be obtained. All of those are considered to be waiting waste. Third, motion, which is excessive movement within the workplace for any reason. Fourth, defects, and those are mistakes and errors in the maintenance tasks that lead to rework. Fifth, overproduction, and this is simply by doing works before they are needed, which in maintenance field would be having more maintenance tasks than actually needed for the asset. Sixth, extra processing, which is doing more work than necessary to facilitate a certain task, and in maintenance field, this could be by having a lengthy process of work orders that must go through a lot of people, which would be a time waste. Seventh, inventory, which are items or information that customer has not received. And the 7 wastes are represented in what we call TMOOD. This is where T stands for transportation, I stands for inventory, M stands for movement, W stands for waiting, O stands for overproduction, the second O stands for extra processing, and D stands for defects. Later on, some researchers recommended adding a new type of wastes to those 7 wastes, which is the skills. So this is by not using workers to the fullest of their abilities, which is a waste of their potential, which resulted on TMWOODs, and this is where S stands for skills. So now that we understand what do we mean by lean, we can go back to the main topic of our lecture today, which is the total productive maintenance. If you remember when we explained the reliability centered maintenance, we said that its code number is 479, which referred to having 4 principles, 7 questions, and 9 steps. So the code for TPM this time is 586, which stands for 5 principles, 8 pillars, and 6 losses. TPM aims to achieve 5 principles, and this is by focusing on 8 pillars, and this is by eliminating 6 losses. And I don't want you to get confused between the 8 wastes in lean, which are TMWOODs, and between the 6 losses of TPM. The TMWOODs are general wastes that are applied to lean in any different field, while those 6 losses that total productive maintenance aim to eliminate, we are going to explain them in details in our next lecture. So the 5 principles of TPM are the following: improving asset and equipment effectiveness, autonomous maintenance by operator, which are the clear as we mentioned earlier, planning all maintenance activities by maintenance department, training to improve operation and maintenance skills, and finally, better workplace design that includes standardization of procedures and cleanliness. In order to achieve those 5 principles, there are 8 pillars. Those pillars are the following: autonomous maintenance, focused improvement, also called Kaizen, and we are going to explain this shortly, planned maintenance, quality maintenance, training and development, 5S workplace organization, office improvement, and finally, safety, health, and environment. So the benefits of total productive maintenance, as we have discussed since the beginning of this lecture, are the following: increasing the productivity and reducing the manufacturing cost, and this makes sense because we are reducing all of the wastes which have been increasing our cost and reducing our productivity. Reducing customers' complaints and ensuring satisfying 100% of the customer's needs, which are delivering the right quantity at the right time and with the required quality. And this is because all of our activities now are aiming towards achieving the value required by the customer. And finally, reducing the safety incidents and environmental concerns. In addition to that, TPM contributes in having a positive work environment, which helps in building high level of confidence between employees and keeping the workplace clean and neat, enhancing the attitude between operators and maintenance. And of course, it helps in sharing the knowledge and the experience between all employees. So now, just like we did in Pillar 5 when we discussed the tools used in maintenance and reliability, we are going to explain some of the most important tools used in TPM. Before we start talking about the tools of total productive maintenance, there is a very important concept that we need to understand, which is Kaizen. We all know that the most important factor that helps us to enhance our performance is consistency or continuous improvement. You don't get fit by going to the gym one time per month for 10 hours, but you get fit by going daily for 30 minutes. So continuous, systematic, small improvements are the way to achieve our goals. And this is actually the concept of Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese word that consists of two parts, Kai and Zen, which means a change for good. And it believes that making small improvements in a systematic approach is the way to achieve our target. And Kaizen in maintenance promotes to having zero losses due to wastes, improving the effective use of assets, and reducing the manufacturing cost. So now, let's learn some of the main tools used in total productive maintenance to achieve the concept of Kaizen. First tool is Deming cycle, and it is also called PDCA cycle. And this cycle is used intensively in project management, and it consists of 4 steps, which are plan, do, check, and act. And this is why it is called the PDCA cycle, and it is a method used to ensure continuous improvement. In the planning stage, the problem is identified and analyzed, and we start finding out possible solutions for this problem. In the doing stage, we start implementing the most effective solution that we come up with during the planning stage on a test sample. In the checking stage, we study and compare the results of the used solution on the test sample and to compare it with the original method that has been used, and this is in order to measure the improvement. And finally, the acting stage, and this is by implementing the most effective solution found. Then the cycle keeps going on, because we start again identifying new problems, analyzing them, and it keeps going on to ensure continuous improvement. Another important tool is the Six Sigma, which consists of a different cycle of 5 steps, which are define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And Six Sigma is mainly used in quality control. Also, another tool is the theory of constraints, which consists of the following cycle: identify, exploit, subordinate, elevate, don't stop now. So as you see now, those tools are all kinda similar to each other, and the main feature in all of them is that they form a closed loop, because this is the concept of continuous improvement. Another tool used in TPM is called the 5S tool, or workplace organization. And this is also a Japanese method. Initially, the 5S were referring to Japanese words, but later on they were translated into English. So the 5S are sort, which means removing anything that is not needed in the workplace and keeping only the things that are necessary. Set in order, which ensures that what is kept is easily located and labeled so that anyone can find it. Shine, and this means to maintain and clean the workplace and the tools to eliminate the sources of contamination. Standardize, which is by creating a consistent way of doing things. And finally, sustain, and this is the most difficult S to achieve, which is ensuring that those behaviors become a habit and that they are embedded and maintained. There are many checklists that are used to check each one of those parameters, and by achieving the 5S, we help eliminating the wastes which we have discussed earlier. So this was the end of our today's lecture. In our next video, we will start learning about the 6 big losses in TPM, which is also called as the overall equipment effectiveness. So see you in our next lecture. Thank you.